Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night, everybody. Blessings. Blessed evening on this September 1st, 2025. Yeah. All Over It podcast, episode 18. Yeah. We talking about stocks. Mastering the market. Stocks and trading explained. Yeah. As per usual, I have a good one in store. I just keep coming with them, every week, coming with fire. Yeah. Straight fire, gasolina. Yeah. Also, yeah, appreciate you for joining. Like I said, another episode of All Over It podcast. Today is another installment of the financial literacy series, where today we're talking about the market, the financial markets, and trading specifically. Last week, we talked about dividends and that form of passive income. But now today we're talking about a different bargain, a different side of the same coin, let me say. But yeah, like I say, another good one. Like, comment, let me know who they are in the chat. Send a comment so I can know you're there. Let me know so I can shout you out. If you like the content I've been coming with so far, like, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. I appreciate all the new subscribers. Again, a few new subscribers, so that's love. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Oliver Williams channel. But welcome to the All Over It podcast, same ways. And yeah, like I say, we're growing. I am on a journey right now to get this YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers. So tell a friend to tell a friend. If you like the content, share it, like it, subscribe. If you're watching it on Facebook, you're probably already a friend, but yeah, just saying that we're growing. And we really get some good feedback about last week episode. People really was liking the vibe. Our first interview last week. Yeah. We're doing things. We're growing. We elevating. Yeah. So no question that. But yeah, thanks again as always to everybody, to you for sure. You for joining, coming, watching, taking the time out. But yeah, love and blessings. Just. But yeah, like I said, today we're talking about stocks and trading. But before we get into that, I have a motivational message for you. So we can talk about the motivational message, and I can get straight into the meat of the matter. Yeah. But yeah, today motivational message is provided by me, yours truly, Oliver Williams. And I just want to say, for anybody out there that need to hear this message, Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah, that's how I come in today. Remember, Rome was not built in a day. We sometimes want things to happen one time, today to tomorrow. And some of us get frustrated when we don't get it, or when we don't get our way, or we get fed up and give up. But remember, Rome was not built in a day. It come brick, Like I always talk about a tree growing from a seed, because it's the best analogy. It's amazing. It's miraculous to think what comes from a small little seed. With time and care, it grows and builds itself, branch by branch, leaf by leaf, growing taller, getting stronger, and more able to withstand the external elements. But just like a tree, just like I said, branch by branch, just like a building, brick by brick, we all grow. We start from the starting line, and with perseverance, with determination and consistency, we reach the finish line. Like I say, like a tree growing, but just like building a house, building any structure, building any object, start with an idea. You start with a plan. Then you start laying the foundation. And when you lay that foundation, you start laying the bricks, you start laying the blocks, putting up the walls, building up the columns, until when you look and check stock, you're inside a house. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see you there. Yeah, but remember, Rome was not built in a day. So when you have that feeling like, bye, you feel defeated, when you have that feeling like you want to give up, like this thing that you're doing ain't working for you, no, don't give up, because you might give up just when you was going to reach that breakthrough. You might stop short just when you was going to reach the finish line, just when you was going to reap the rewards of your work, reap the harvest. So don't give up. Just remember, brick by brick, branch by branch, leaf by leaf, everything grow small and just keep growing till it get big. So remember, Rome was not built in a day. And that's my motivational message to you today. Rome was not built in a day. Yeah. Big up yourself on time. Oliver Williams Sr. Yeah. In the building. I need to get like applause sound and like money sound and all kind of different sounds. I need a soundboard. Don't worry. We're growing though. That's on the list. Yeah, but yeah, though, you don't know. Love alone, like I say. That was my motivational message to you today. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, so don't feel defeated. Don't feel discouraged when things ain't going your way or when things ain't falling into your lap as you expected it to, Even God, when he built the world, when he built the universe, he did it in steps and phases. Check. So that's a mentality to keep nowadays, What's for you gonna always be for you. And nobody can take it, nobody can change it, nobody can turn it or twist it, Straight up. Good night, Miss Mary. Blessings. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the support. Appreciate you for coming on. Love and blessings. But yeah, today we're here to talk about stocks. I'm going to get into some definition, give some explanation, share some information, some pages and platforms that I just follow or things that I had read or research early on in me getting started, I think. And then I can show some of the chats, and then I can give a little example. So today gonna be a little more technical today. Today can be, really diving into the meat of the matter, diving into things. But don't worry, for sure, I can make sure that it ain't going over nobody's head, or I can try break things down in simple terms. And also to add, I had a few episodes back, whereas I broke down definitions of different terminologies that's used related to the financial markets, relating to investing in general. And just a good video to watch to gain some more insight, get some understanding of certain terminologies you'll hear use, different things that you'll hear people talking about. It's good to have that reference so you could be like, oh, that's what they mean by that. Okay, I understand. Oliver explain it there, man. He explained it so good. I understand it fully. Yeah. So check that out. What I think I can do, I think I can leave like a little, like the box, tag box, so you could like just click it. Yeah. Reference the video I'm talking about. Don't worry, I can do that. Anyway, so yeah, today we're going to dive into things. Like I say, if you want to gain some more insight on the terminologies, I had a video, at least, I want to say episode 10. But don't worry, you're going to know exactly which one. I can make sure reference it. I can put it in the description as well. And everybody can be winning. Anyways, today we are talking about stocks. So you want to start trading. What is trading? Although I gave a definition some episodes ago, I'll explain here now. In simple terms, trading is putting your money in a company with the hopes of making profits on the price changes. Simply. So if the stock is at 100 and you buy one full stock, say you put $100, you get $100 worth of that stock, and the stock goes up to, let me say, 120 a share, a stock. Your $100 now is 120. If you was to say, okay, I want to take it out, then you would have made $20 profit on top of your $100. I think that should be simple enough. Yeah. So yeah, bottom line is just observing and speculating on movements, plain and simple. You could gain where they go up, you could gain where they go down, but you just gotta, how to say, it's different ways to go in, or like to put your money in. So if you put your money in saying you think you're going to go up and it go down, you lose your money. But same way vice versa. But like if you're right, whereas that comes with practice, that comes with knowledge, expanding your knowledge, understanding. So simply put, I'll put up a chart here now, and you might watch that chart like, why, what the hell is this I watching? But over time, with repetition, your eyes gonna get accustomed and you're gonna start to understand what you're seeing. Just like playing music, playing a guitar. When you pick it up the first time, you blink, 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 blink. It's like, what the hell am I doing? But then with practice, with some guidance, you start playing some cards. Tutu's you playing a song, you're checking, what? I am a musician. Same concept with everything. It just take a little time, a little learning. So if you have time, whether after work, before work, or even on the weekends, let me say you go at computers or you go at numbers, or you don't mind putting in the time to learn, trading could be a great source of income, like I said, also, honestly, I consider it like printing your own money straight. And I know, because it's like that, think on this. You sit in one day, you decide, I want to go on a trip. Let me go to Dubai. When you do your calculations, you say, okay, I gonna need $3,000 US for the whole trip. You could sit down, go on your trading app, and make that and more in minutes once you know what you're doing. And of course, you gotta remember they got taxes and those things involved, But yeah, a lot of wealthy people, that's how they just do it. They say, hey, I want to do this. And then they get the money and go do it. Of course, a simplification, but yeah, simply put. And these days they got kids, 13, 14 years old, millionaires today. Because what? They understand crypto, they understand the game. Check, once you understand the machine and understand the rules of operating the machine, it's just like a money printer. It's a money printing machine. But you just gotta understand it. You gotta know how to operate it. Once you know how to pull the lever and turn this joystick and say, okay, this car can drive down this road at this amount of speed, you're gonna reach that finish line. Straight up. But yeah, like I say, 13, 14 years old, 12 years old, millionaires today. I've been trying to get my nephew into it. He's 16 right now, and he good at computers. He love computers. He could spend hours on a computer. He'll be up all morning, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, playing all kind of Minecraft and all kind of game and thing. But he good at computers, and send him some information and some different things, trying to get him to start, looking into it, start acclimating himself with it. And like he really take it so serious, but when you read like news and watch financial like articles and thing, and you hear about these children making bank today to tomorrow, I like it don't be so. It doesn't be so. They put in that time, to get to a level of understanding that they could have do that. But yeah, bottom line is like, what we doing? All are young. Look, Warren Buffett just made 95 years old the other day. And he's still making his money in the market. Don't play no games with that, man. Start from 11 years old, 10 years old. I wish I had known this from since I was like 10, 12 years old. Man, I'd be a million. For sure, I'd be watching a million. I know maybe I would not have this podcast like this. Maybe it'd be different. Maybe it'd be big thing. But yeah, but what? We can't go back in time. So, like farmers say, the best time to plant a tree or plant a seed was 20 years ago. The next best time is right now. So guess why planting them seeds now? So that my garden, that my farm could flourish in years to come. Straight. Check. But yeah, like I said, I can get into some information, share some things I use to get myself acclimated, But before I get into that, I have to say, where stocks and trading is concerned, Remember, trading is very different from investing. Just think on it this way. Investing is more long-term. Trading is like a short-term, quick gain. Not like a get-rich-quick type thing. No, it's not like that. People might think so, but it's not. But honestly, it's a short-term form of investing, whereas you can make profits quickly. And some people, when they trade, they use their profits to invest in other things, and they buy and hold and they dividend portfolio, let me say. But yeah, it's all about you. Like I say, maybe you one of them people that decide, you know what, I want to take a trip, I need some funds, I gonna put in a trade. And like I say, it's different farms of everything. So even different farms are trading, because they got day traders, so people who, when they put in a position, so when they put their money in to try and make some gains, they in and out within the day. Or let me say, maybe they would be in and out within minutes, or within an hour, 2 hours, or maybe the longest would be from the start of the day to the end of the day. But day traders within the day. Swing trading now is more a little long term. So let me say a couple days or a week, couple weeks. They got leaps, which is like months, and long leaps, which is like months going into years type vibes. So it I keep telling people, it depends on you. It depends on what type of trader, what type of investor, what type of financial literate person you want to be, which road you want to take. So that's why I do this financial literacy series. Whereas first episode was like a overview of a lot of different options that you could get into to invest. And now, like I say, we're breaking down each of them. So this is one, and we can get a little more into how it working. But yeah, like I say, with trading, it's two important things. First thing, you gotta control your emotions. Emotions just get very involved, because it's money involved. Your money, your hard on money you work for. Yeah, is a possibility to make a quick gain, but it's also a high risk. High risk. Check. So you gotta keep your emotions in check, and that's very important. And I'll come to that in a little bit. But also, don't have fear of missing out. Like I say earlier, what's for you can always be for you. That's how I think. What's for me can always be for me. Nobody can take it. Nobody can take it away at all. Nobody can turn it, twist it, flip it over. Nah. Can't take a little piece, chicken, man. No. None of that. What's for me can be for me. So some people, when they get into trading, they want to be in everything. They want to be in every trade. But no, you have to find what's for you, find what you like, and roll with it. So sometimes that I use this analogy of like a surfer surfing his wave, waiting on his wave. Is like when you're a surfer, you paddle out, and you sit down on your board and you see the waves coming, and you're checking, okay, nah, this one ain't for me. That one ain't for me. That too small. No man, that one too big, but and then when you see the perfect wave coming, you set up yourself, turn on, you're checking, yeah, that for me. Start paddling, jump up, and you ride the wave straight to the shore, and I consider the market the same way. It's like looking for your wave and riding it when it comes. Setting up yourself, making sure you're in position so that when your wave reach, after you done observe it coming, that you could ride it to that victory line. Straight. Ride it till it hit that take profit and you're checking, yeah, money in the banky. Okay, good. Straight. I remember when I just started, I would be up all hours of the night watching the charts. I would put in trades all kind of hours, and then I would be so emotional about it. I would be up worried, checking every minute, if I'm not there stuck watching it, because like I say, it's your money, you're checking by. I hope it go up. I hope I'm making money. I hope it ain't gone in the red and I losing. So now I put in trades, put my stop loss, my take profit, and go and leave it. Maybe periodically I check in on it, but I could feel the change. I could feel the ease in my emotions, the lessen emotional stress. And honestly, I think that has been the best part of where I've been now. Like, granted, I still grateful for those hours I put in watching the charts and things, because now I could watch it and I could see the patterns, I could see what coming. But all of that come with practice, all of that come with understanding, because it's patterns. Understand that. When you watch them charts, like I said, I watch like what the hell is that? Like, what's these candle things? What's that? But then when you start to really read up on like what the candles mean and how the patterns the stack up when the candles stack up, and then when you go back on the chart and you see it, it's like, what? That's a head and shoulder loss. Then you see a doji candle and you're checking, what? That trend done. This is an opportunity. But it takes practice, and I've been seeing this ad. They're really talking about AI, but I find it very relevant still. It's talking about like, it's it advertising this program that they're offering, and they're telling you like, yeah, when you take the program, you'll get better at AI within 28 days, I think it is. And it was saying, in the first week, it's gonna be hard. In the second week, you're gonna farm your strategy. And in the third week, you're gonna be good. And basically saying you might not understand it now, but once you put in the time, once you practice, you're gonna get it, and I guess that's my secondary motivation to you when it comes to these stocks and these trading and these things I'm about to share with you right about now. Right about now. Add to stage. See? I like this computer now. It'll give me a nice background. It'll change the backgrounds and thing, Good vibes. Anyways, so the meat of the matter, this here is the heat map. For anybody who been following me, especially from the start, they would be familiar with this. I talk about this quite a few times, at least 3 times. But for those who are not familiar, this is basically a breakdown of how the top 500 companies in the American stock market perform today, where they currently stand. Right now, the market closed, but so you could see some of them. Red mean they down, green mean they up, gray mean they neutral. They ain't make no move really. This 0% move in a day. Anyways, before we get into the heat map and all of that good stuff, I want to touch on some information that I use to get myself more up to speed. So they had 2 books. When it comes to trading in the market, specifically trading, not dividends, not investing, not buying a business, specifically trading. You want to be a trader, I recommend these 2 books that I'm about to share with you right now. One of them is Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets by John J. Murphy, which is actually this book here. You could see it. This is actually a audio book of it. I actually went on Google and I found a free version of the book itself. But if you is somebody like me that like hard copy, I do recommend you to order this book. You can find it on Amazon for sure. Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets by John J. Murphy. Good book. If you want to understand the markets, if you want to get an understanding of how to start trading, how to understand what you're looking at when you look at like a chart, I think this book, very good book to help you understand that. So check it, talk about indicators, it talk about, it start from the foundation and give you from novice to advanced, straight up. And one thing I like on YouTube, as you can see, we on YouTube. This is audio book on YouTube, as you can see. But also, I had watched this playlist here, which is Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets. That's the name of it. But the creator of the playlist was Alexander Ocampo. And I read the book and I watched this series, and I kind of like, compared it to see if it, the same thing. And basically, if you somebody that don't really want to read the book, but you still want the knowledge, you could watch this video series from this gentleman, Alexander Ocampos. So I actually just type in Technical Analysis of the Financial Market series, and then I get this, so anybody I recommend it to, that's how I just recommend it to them. And it's a 77 video series, but all of them short, like 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes, and so on. So I do recommend, if you want to start getting into trading stocks, Technical Analysis of the Market or the Financial Markets is a great read, a necessity, I'll say, to an extent. What going on, my G? Blessings, my boy. Hush in the building. Yeah. The next book that I want to talk about is The Candlestick Trading Bible, invented by Munehisa Koma, a Japanese man. This is an old book. This book, this is to show you these books. It's from like maybe 1920s, 1930s, old, and it's still relevant, still the same thing. It's just now technology has advanced things to the point that we could just sit down on our phone, we could sit down in our house, wherever, and make money. You could print money wherever you be. You could be on the road. Once you have internet connection, once you understand what's going on, you could print money. But you need the knowledge, and these books just give it to you. But the point being, ain't nothing new under the sun. You check, and if we feel like, we can't listen to these old people, or we can't listen to these old things because they know nothing about we new thing. Understand these new things come from these old things. You check. So if you understand the old thing, you gotta understand the new thing. You understand the foundation, you know how to build a house. Not really, but you know where it's coming from. You know where it's coming from, but yeah, understand and imagine these books from 1920 something, from way back when, and still relevant. And like I talk about one of the commercials from one of the platforms I can talk about, Charles Schwab. Yeah, I talk about his grandfather was investing from since like 1920 something, before they even had brokers in the area. He investing. You check. Then he checking like after his grandfather passed, he pass it on to his father. Then when his father passed, he pass it on to he. So to show your generational wealth, that's the real point I'm trying to make here. And look, just know, knowledge, build your knowledge. With the knowledge, you could build your wealth. And with the wealth you build, you could unlock generational wealth for you, your family, your friends, everybody around you. Bottom line, these ways. This book, Candlestick Bible, teaches you how to understand the candles. So each individual candle, understanding what it means, so what a body mean, what a wick. So the wick is the little tail that'll be at the bottom, at the top, and teaching you the patterns. So when you see the patterns build up, you know what coming, you know what it's going to be. So like I say, when you see a head and shoulders, which is like 3 peaks that are middle higher, that means she's going to drop. Or if it's upside down, then that means you're going to go up. But it just gives you an understanding of what you're looking at, so that when you see it, you can know what to expect. Bottom line. And these 2 books, like I say, very, very crucial, very, very necessary if you want to really be a valid, strong, advanced trader in this game. Yes, technology advanced, they got crypto, they got meme coin, that kind of thing now, but all them moving after the same principles. I could tell you, when I go on like the meme coin on Phantom Wallet and thing, watching like meme coins or them cryptos and them NFTs and all them thing, the values and thing moving the same way. You check. So it's transferable. So once you understand this, you understand the game. Bottom line. Check. Bottom line. So my recommendation to you, you want to get into trading, everybody I talk to about this is why I tell them. Read these 2 books. Like I say, they have this video series of the technical analysis of financial markets book. Them is good place to start. After that, I love Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab, they have a great platform. This is the official website, their homepage. Whereas, you could go through it, you could gain an understanding of what they're offering. They tell you, they give you information and knowledge about how to trade. All of that. World-class education for every investor. Transparent pricing and low cost, all these different good stuff. I'll say like this. If I was in the States still, I would have a account with Charles Schwab for sure. Plain. But yeah, Charles Schwab, they actually also have a YouTube webcast, whereas they'll teach you how to get into investing and trading. So you see Trader Talks, Schwab Coaching Webcast. So they have Schwab Coaching Webcast where you could even chat with a live coach. You could ask questions. You could, they're teaching you what going on right there. So you're increasing your knowledge. If you don't understand something, you could inquire about it one time. All of these good stuff. They have so much resources out here for us to increase our knowledge, especially when it comes to finances. It's we who does hold ourselves back. So I giving you the info. I ain't keeping I opening the door for what I know. Trust and believe. I got a lot of platforms for information, for trading, for investing, so much, hundreds. But I'm giving you what I know. I know more, but I'm giving you what I feel is the best for you. Keep in mind, I am not no financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, but I just sharing what I know because I know it's good stuff, and least I could do is share it with you. But why to tell everybody, do your due diligence. Make sure whatever you getting yourself into, you research and acquaint yourself for yourself. Yeah. Anyways, Schwab coaching webcast. They have a lot of stuff you see. 9/2/25 scheduled for tomorrow. Tomorrow, my father body. They got a trading futures with Ben Watson class. So yeah, daddy, if you want to learn something, your boy, you could. Oh, you see too. Investing Master Series. So they got two of them. One at 11 a.m., one at 9:30 a.m. Check. And they got a whole heap. And now, yeah, we're going to the next one, which is, I'll say, 3 platforms I just deal with nowadays for my financial news are this one, Yahoo Finance. So Yahoo Finance daily market coverage, weekends as well. That's one I just listen to kind of often, but the Schwab Network Live is my all-time favorite. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased towards Schwab, but yeah, whenever I decide, okay, I want to see what's going on in the market, usually the first thing I do, pull out my phone, go on YouTube, Schwab Network Live, I just open up, see what they're talking about, and they'll have some good information, and it'll be great information, but some of the things, if you don't know what they're talking about, will go clean over your head, like they talk about options, derivatives, all kind of different things, so that's why I reference my video that I did about the terminologies, so you could get an understanding of what these people talking about when you hear them or reading it. And yeah, it have so much options for you. If you listening to that and you hear them talking about something that you don't understand, pull out your phone, Google it. That's something I do all the time. I am an avid researcher. I always trying to increase my knowledge. So I hear you say a word and I don't know what it is, I'm gonna go Google it and check. Maybe I might have an idea of what it is through context, but I can still go check, make sure I on the right track. I like verification like that. So yeah, Schwab Network, one of my favorites. I'm telling you, I just really pull it out often. They have like a live programming schedule. So from 8 to 9, 9 to 11, 11 to 12, so it's like shows. So like how I have this All Over It podcast, imagine like All Over It podcast have its own hour on Schwab Network, whereas they have different hosts and different people coming on, they interviewing different people, they talking about different stocks, you know, things that move in the market in the day, things that looking like good upcoming buys or good, like things that have some trouble coming up. A lot of different information that is very valuable, So, like I say, anybody getting into trading, I recommend you start with them two books. One, you could watch the video series, and then to keep yourself abreast with what's going on, these two platforms, Schwab Network Live, and also the Yahoo Finance Live Stock Market Today live coverage, have great information. But they also does have like other videos that you could watch. So let me say like videos about earning reports, videos about like big stocks that coming up. So 3 chip stocks plays besides Nvidia, so it'll have information. There's have the Fed meetings, coverages of different things like maybe Trump speeches and announcements, a lot of different valuable information to keep you abreast with what's going on in the market currently. Another good one is CNBC television. They does have a lot of good finance information as well. See, countdown to Nvidia's earnings report. That was 5 days ago because Nvidia had the earnings last week. They have a lot of good information. If you really want to inform yourself with what's going on in the market with finances and elevating your finances, you can find a lot of good information. One channel I has watched very faithfully is Wall Street Looks Like Us Now. They does have a podcast live every Tuesday, Trapping Tuesdays, because the gentleman who has the channel, the face of the channel, his name is Leon, but they call him Trap, Wall Street Trapper. Whereas he also has a Wall Street Trapper page, but on this page, Wall Street Looks Like Us Now Network, they have their show and they also have different videos which gives you information about the market, about options, about charts, about one thing I like that they does do too is they does have like certified trappers, which is like paying homage to historical figures in the Black community that may not be known about. That's the main thing. Like people that are unheard of, untalked about, Yeah. Long story short, good stuff. They just break down a lot of information to get you aware of what's going on. So you see like this a new one 3 months ago. Chart, technicals, bullish candle, breakdown. So for anybody who are aware with trading, they know bullish mean trends are going up, bearish mean trends are going down. So that's why in the flyer, the little image I had on the side had the bull and the bear, because that's what we here talking about. That's what trading does. That's what trading is. That's what the financial markets is. A fight between a bull and a bear. And it's to see who gonna win at the time or who exhausted and tap, like when they time out and they take a exhaustion break to go take a breath and then they come back at it. But it's always a war. It's a fight. When I pull up the chart, you can see what I mean. But yeah, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Always, for me, like I say, I just watch this channel faithfully, just like how I just do this live every Monday. They just be on live every Tuesday. And if I don't get to watch it live, I just go and watch it back. And I ain't gonna lie, the live does be like 2, 3 hours. I ain't gonna lie, they had one like 4 hours at a time. Also, sometimes long, but the information will be worth it in my opinion. Also, even if I watch it in chunks, meaning like I watch a piece now, then I go do what I gotta do, then later or some other day I come back at it, watch another piece, I just watch it because it's good information. And like I say, in tandem with watching like the Schwab market, the Schwab network, and the Yahoo live and these things, in tandem with that, it does be a good way to stay abreast, to stay up to date with what's happening in the markets, to know why one get in, why one get out, why looking at for the near future, what would be a good buy in the future, different things like that. So bottom line, a lot of people, when they come to you and they check in, they want to get into investing, they want to get into stocks and trading. The first thing they come, they check in, yeah, what you doing? What you buying? But like I always say, the thing about me is about you. Investing is an individual thing. It's about what you like, what floats your boat. So if you somebody that, let me say, you like sports, you like fitness, you might more resonate with things along those lines, like maybe Under Armour, maybe you somebody that does buy Nike clothing always, or buying Jordan straight through. So you checking you invest in Nike. I wouldn't recommend that. But that's what I always say. Go do your research, because Nike ain't really the best investment right now. But anyways, maybe we gotta see how the chips fall after the tariff things finish. But anyways, like how we were talking about Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance is a great website for you to go gain information, see, like, you know, as you can see, you could see different, sorry, you could see different articles and, different information about the market. So, like you could see over here on the far right, it say the market is closed, but it giving you the breakdowns, what the numbers looking like right now. If you want, you could click on one of them and see. Or if you have one, let me say, like, okay, this is one I was looking at, Kinross Gold Corporation. When gold was surging, I was actually trading gold versus the dollar. But I was saying, man, everything around gold going up too. And I am, man, I like gold. I have an episode coming where I will talk about gold too, investing in gold in different ways. But I was saying this company was doing good. And you see, look, it gone up from where it was. Okay, it was 20 something, let me say 2021. Now it's 2095. Not a big jump, but it going up, and that's just within the day. Let me say 5 days. Yeah, so just an idea. So if you're somebody that you say, okay, you know what, I've been reading up, I've been informing myself on how to trade, how to get into the market and thing. I've been interested in checking out some new things that maybe Oliver ain't talk about, or like I say, maybe I somebody that into sports. Look right here, they got article here talking about grabbing Hood and FanDuel use gray area to link sports betting and stocks. Cool. So there's an article come out about FanDuel. FanDuel is a sports betting platform, but they on the market. No, they're not on the market. They just connect themselves to smart move. Yeah, so they working with Robinhood. So now they able to kind of wiggle their way into the market that way. But anyways, let me say you somebody into sports. You could type in sports. Or they have like stock screeners that you could check out, like things that get the most activity, things that undervalued, things that gain the most ground within the day, you know, all these different things, you know, market movers, things that gain in the day, things that lose in the day, things that had a recent 52-week low, so things that really been going down. You could maybe go through that list and say, okay, this one here look like it might turn around just now and start to go back up. Maybe if you check the financials of the company and you see, okay, these financials actually looking good. Maybe it's just something they're going through that now once they get out of that turbulence, they up again. You check. So like I say, I tell everybody is what floats your boat. If you is what you like, you know. So maybe you like technology. I talk about cracks a lot, you know. So is what you like. You could come here, you could gain information about like a sector. So not just one stock, but you could gain information about multiple stocks in that sector. So like I say, maybe sports or real estate or maybe traveling or all these different things. All these things on the market. Look, let me go back to the heat map. So let me see, like we talk about okay, transportation. Look, Uber here. I ain't familiar with what UNP is. You know, so all these transportation, different things. They got and so all these is different sectors. So maybe you checking man, you want do consumer staples, you like McDonald's, you buy McDonald's all the time, you want to invest in McDonald's, or okay, you just go on cruises a lot on Royal Cruise Line, you want to invest in Royal Cruise Line, or use a hard working man, you checking like Caterpillar, you willing to put your money in that, you know they're a good brand, they popping things out all the time, or DE, John Deere, 3M. That's a good, like, I was going to say tape brand, but they is all around. They provide almost everything. You know, so is what you really feeling or what you feel like putting your money in, you know? So of course they have big staples, things that you're accustomed to, like Meta, Netflix. Netflix is actually a good buy, you know. Like Netflix been doing good lately, you know. And yeah, they got so much options. This one here is good too. They've been having a lot of talk in the news lately. CrowdStrike. They they got so much options. I can't just tell you buy put your money in this, you know. I could tell you what I have my money in, but that ain't to say like buy invest in this. No, is okay. I could tell you what my money in, and then if you interested in it, you could go check it out yourself, just like I did. See if it's something you comfortable with putting your money into. Do your due diligence. before you invest in anything. Yeah, straight up. Look, this is a big shot right now. This is kind of one of the soundest money plays right now. Tesla, what? Tesla been doing things, but telling you. But for me, Nvidia is the top dog. With in the news right now, with their position in the market, with what they're providing and how important or crucial it is to, let me say, the current advancements, Nvidia and similar companies in a great position to grow. And yeah, like I said, they had the earnings last week. They've been doing big things, they've been doing good things, they've been really talk of the town lately. Let me just put it like that. I actually had a little money in Nvidia too. I made some profits off of them. I had talked about it in one of my previous episodes as well. I'll be honest, I could have made more. But so it go. Because right now you could see it say Nvidia is at 174. Actually, last week before the earnings, it was 184, 185. And when I had my trade in, I buy in when it was like 105, which I actually could have get in when it was lower, like when it was like 90 something, 80 something. Because when the tariff war was going on, everything was low. It's like everything was discount and discount. You check? So when Trump come out, Liberation Day, it was like, bye. If you got your money, you could just wait till these things hit rock bottom, put it in the right things, and then everything just shoot right back up, So it was like a money move, really and truly. So who had the capital, they make bank. But anyways, like I say, I get in at 105, could have get in lower. But when I reached like 144, I had sell. So close my position, take my profit. But as you can see, it reached up to like 180 something. So if I was a little more patient, I could have get some more profits. But we don't cry over spilled milk. Like I say, we don't have fear of missing out. What's for me gonna be for me always. You check, and I ain't balling. And the next run, I can just make sure I get what's for me again. If anything, I can put a bigger position so I could get more out of it. You check? But yeah, like I say, it's what you feeling, is what floats your boat. We say maybe use a finance person, you check in, finance, you are investing finance, finance is safe. You could put your money in Visa. Everybody using a Visa card. Every card is Visa. Yeah, they got MasterCard, but you know what I mean? Everybody using Visa. Visa is all over the world, not just in America. You check? Look, you got Berkshire Hathaway. If you check and buy, you know what? I believe in Warren Buffett. Even though he stepped down from CEO, I believe in that company. Or even better yet, a man like me, when I was in the States, I had Chase Bank, which is JP Morgan. JPM is JP Morgan. Somebody like me, I would have feel fully comfortable to invest in JP Morgan. But granted, I don't necessarily have to invest solely in JP Morgan. They have like groups. So what's called ETFs, but think of it like a basket of different stocks. So it's instead of it just being one, JP Morgan is like a diversified option. Let me say like that. So they have so much options in the market. It's all up to you. If you want to get into Bank of America, American Express, Goldman Sachs, so much options, But anyways, I touch on books that you need to read to get yourself acquainted, acclimated. But I touch on some platforms that could help you keep yourself updated with the market, give you more information, help you build on that foundation that you created for yourself. Now, I can get into some of the platforms that I just use to trade or invest. You know, anybody know me, know Robinhood. I talk about Robinhood a lot. Unfortunately for us here in St. Martin, we can't use Robinhood. Robinhood is solely in the US. But God bless, shiny light on me and allowed me to go and do my studies in the US and granted me that opportunity to be able to use Robinhood. Thank you, God. So God bless. I still have Robinhood even though I'm not there, but it's like I there. Trust me. But for me, Robinhood is my favorite platform. So for anybody who in the US, I recommend Robinhood. If you're not trading or investing, it's a platform that you could trade and invest all in the same thing, you know. And why I like it, it's very user friendly. You know, I use it on my phone, but it's very user friendly. They have a lot of promotions. They have a lot of information, articles to help you also, you know, increase your knowledge. Like you see, they gotta learn platform. The support is good, you know, so customer support is be good. I ain't gonna lie, I had an issue before gaining access again, and prior to gaining access, I was only getting email like correspondence, but I was able to get a number for them, and I got to call and have a actual, you know, speak to somebody, and I was able to get my issue resolved. God bless. So yeah, Robinhood have everything. Like you could see, Robinhood have crypto, they have stocks, they have options, they have protection. Robinhood Gold is their like premium, you know, like the paid version. You know how it is with everything nowadays. They got a free version and a paid version, but it's only like $5 a month. And trust me, it does have a lot of perks. I had it for maybe like 2 or 3 months. I would get it back, but right now I put my capital in more. My capital is focused in other avenues. Let me put it like that. You know, I need the goal like that, you know, but it is helpful, especially for somebody who just getting started. Yeah, is an extra charge, but the intuitiveness, the information that you gain is very insightful. And I ain't gonna lie, they have, like I say, little raffles, little promotions. They had one whereas like you could have take, like they had this trivia, Robinhood trivia, whereas you could have win prizes, you know, which was like shares and thing. They had this one that once you have gold, you could win a portion of a bar gold. So like they were giving away like think like some, I think like 1,000 bars or something, some number, 1,000 coins, something like that. And you know, you could have like get gold basically, you know, in your account, sent to you physically if you want. And also they had like promotion with Bitcoin and thing, like you could have win like a portion or like 1 Bitcoin and thing. So they does have some good promotions, and like I said, it's very user friendly and like easy to use. A lot of these other brokers is like advanced, you know, it's like If you know what you're looking at, it has become complicated. But these like Robinhood and thing, they make it more like nice. Like they make it kind of gamified, but not really. So yeah, nice set, you see? Nice. But yeah, moving on. Coinbase is our next good one if you want to get into crypto specifically. I I think Coinbase are working in semantic. Don't quote me on that. I had it when I was in the States. I have it still, but don't quote me on it. Working, try it. Nothing beats a trial and a failure. But anyways, Coinbase is a good platform too. They've been actually making some good strides in the market as well too. Let me say doing partnerships with like JP Morgan Bank to bring crypto to the banking system. A lot of things going on. A lot. Look, if I ain't up to the time, I can get lost in the past. Telling you. So just know things happening. So if you don't with it, you can get lost. And people wondering why Bitcoin going up so much, or okay, yeah, Bitcoin passed 100, now it just dropping down back to 108, it went to 120, it just fluctuating there. I ain't even know. Bitcoin break down 100 now for good now. And she telling you that. Now it's just up from here. So it's like, hey, get it while you can. Get it while you can. Straight. Straight like that. Straight like that. Straight like that. So yeah, if you want to get into crypto specifically, Coinbase is a good platform. They're doing good things. You could actually invest in Coinbase stock itself too. So they have their own publicly traded shares as well. Another good one for crypto is Phantom Wallet. Also very user friendly. Like easy to use, like kind of gamified too. Like these things now, they're making these platforms like fun, easy for like even a child to use, so it making investing and trading way more easier, a lot more easier than it was in the past. Like if you actually say my uncle that was on last week, here he tell you when he was just getting into working, his bushels, not less than 100 shares you could buy at the time. You check. So if you don't got that money, can't get in. Now, to get in with next to nothing. Look, Robinhood tell you could start trading with as little as $5. That's a lot. Yeah, you see that. I know I see that. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Phantom Wallet. This is also strictly crypto, but this is now like cryptos, like the main cryptos, but also for like those meme coins and those other coins and all these different, like that's when you get more deeper into the crypto world and get into like the NFTs and all these things. Phantom Wallet is one of the main ones. That MetaMask, those things. Yeah, these platforms free. So Robinhood free totally. But yeah, like I say, it don't work outside of the US. I don't know if it'll work in Europe. That one you will have to check. Phantom Wallet works all over the world. It's free. Coinbase, yeah, you could join for free, sign up for free. And yeah, Interactive Brokers is another one I use here. This one works in St. Martin. This one works in St. Martin for sure, for sure, for sure. I could tell you that I actually last week helped a friend of mine get set up and get connected to start depositing funds and start investing. So I could tell you for a fact, if you're in St. Martin, you want to get on Interactive Brokers is a good platform to use. Not as user friendly or as intuitive as Robinhood, but still very good to use and very, I would say, easy to use, easy to understand fairly compared to others. You know? I did not get time to check the time when I'm up and down. Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, man, it's free, and yeah, anything you need, you can reach out to me and ask, but no problem. Yeah, so like I say, Interactive Brokers, IBKR, they actually also are trading on the markets as well. Last time I see they was trading at about $62. Robinhood also trade on the market. That Robinhood is one I was looking to invest in. Good platform, and they're doing good things. They're just elevating things. So bottom line, that's what trading, that's what investing is now. Is like seeing opportunity before it reach. In the sense of, let me say you see a business, you checking like, wow, they doing good things, man. They just make this collaboration with this other company. They marketing the business good. They adding new features that people like to the platform. Things like that going to make the value of the company go up, which can make the price of the share go up. So, as a trader or investor, you can watch that company and say, okay, Robinhood looking good. Right now, they're $50. I feel they could reach 100. Or let me say, we're being conservative, let me say 85 or 80. You put your money in, whatever it be, whether it's $1,000, $100, $10, whatever it be, put it in. Because what? Once the Robinhood go up, your $10 gonna now be what? $12.50, $15. Same for your 100, gonna be 150. Just for easy, for easy averages, easy number. You check. So that's what it's all about. So Interactive Brokers, like I say, I like them because they also, just like Robinhood, you could invest in everything, whether stocks, crypto, they got options. So options is a type of trading. They got options, they got basically everything, bonds, CFDs, everything, futures, everything, so that's why Interactive Brokers is one that I does normally recommend, especially to my friends here locally in St. Martin, but yeah, for sure, what I can do, anybody who interested in these platforms, I can share the link for all of these things I share today in the description on YouTube. So any of these things you're interested in, you could go back, check on YouTube and find it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah. But yeah, Interactive Brokers, very good trading platform. Like I said, it's good for beginners. It give me a breakdown, explaining about the platform and all that good stuff. So to kind of just start to come to a close with these, another good brokerage platform that works in St. Martin is IC Markets. Oh, I say, I know why it's showing like that. This one now is strictly trading. This ain't no investing at all. So this is like, when you put your money in, you better make sure you put your stop loss, you take profit, know what you're doing. Check this in, like, okay, I like Bitcoin. Let me put some money in Bitcoin. let me put some money in this dividend one. Okay, you know what? I want to trade this next thing while I at it. No, this is strictly trading. Strictly trading. Whether you're trading, like it say, euro versus the dollar, EUR USD, gold versus the dollar, XAU USD. Whatever it is you decide you want to trade. Two things I trade heavily: Bitcoin and gold. I also trade this one before, which is the pound versus the dollar, GBP USD. But yeah, like I say, this year strictly trading. This year is like only get into this when you know what you're doing, because doing this, it's like just throwing your money away if you don't know what you're doing. Straight up. Straight up. Check. I ain't gonna lie, I have lost money on IC markets trading, because how it works is IC market is like the broker, and they are connected with MetaTrader, which they have MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5, which is just a trading platform that you can see here in these what do you call that, in this diagram, what it look like. But I gonna open it up so you could see or yourself. But I just want to run through these so you could see what going on. But yeah, like I say, this one, IC markets and MetaTrader 5, they linked. MetaTrader 5 actually works with multiple brokers, so it's not just IC market. And yeah, with that is strictly trading, no investing. So this ain't no buy and hold, nothing when it comes to these. Now, FTMO, wow, they make 10 years. Congrats. This here is a prop trading firm, which when you familiarize yourself with trading and you're doing it more often and you want to, let me say, maximize your gains, increase your profits, you could opt for a prop firm account, which FTMO is one that I've used. They have another one I'm familiar with too, but they have a lot of them here. With all these things, they have a lot of these platforms. I'm telling you. Check. But these is ones I know, trust, verify, that I would share with you. Check. So yeah, how this works is, take on it this way. You now gain your knowledge in trading, you read the books, you've been abreasting yourself with the live coverages and the news and finances, and you're keeping yourself abreast, you know what's going on. Cool. Now you start making money. Usually people start trading with a paper trading account, meaning they don't use the real money. They'll practice first. So the paper trading accounts is just an account that you say you got this money in your account and you're putting in trades, but it ain't really your money. You check, you don't got no real money on the line. It's like monopoly money. You check? So it's like playing Monopoly to get an understanding. But then when you get to the real account, the live account, they call it, live, direct, this thing a live thing there, then it's your real money you gotta put in, and like I talk about earlier in the episode, like I use the example of, if I want to make $3,000 to go on a Dubai trip, I could do that within minutes. But you gotta have capital, you gotta have leverage. You check? You gotta have that leverage in order to do that. You can't expect, you're going to have $100 in your trading account or your broker account, and within 5 minutes, you're going to turn that $100 into $3,000. You know, you got to know what you're doing. You could do that now. It's not impossible in the market, trust. But you got to know what you're doing, straight up. But bottom line, when you get into it, you're going to see like they have limits to things, you know, like especially when you have a small amount of money you put in the beginning, you only could do so much, you know. So these prop forms does help you with that. How it is, you do like a test first, so like a demo. So like they test you out. So a challenge. It's challenges really, you know. So the first one is with paper money. So it's like just a paper account that you gotta put in couple trades, make a certain amount of profit. If you know they have a set criteria. You have to make this amount of profit. If you lose this amount, you lose the challenge, yada yada. Check. Now, once you pass the demo one, the paper one, then now you could, hear me good, get access to a leveraged account. So let me say how it works. I self do this. So keep in mind now, this ain't not now to the way I'm telling you how it works. Keep in mind I was on IC markets doing my trading. I would put maybe like $100-$200 in and, you know, making my profits, you know, learning. It was a learning curve. So you make losses, you make profits, boom. When I really gain a good grasp of things, I say, no, I need more leverage. I need a wider range, you know, a bigger amount that I could, you know, work with. So that's where this come in. So how it is, I put down maybe after I do the first challenge, the test challenge, let me call it, then it come to the actual leveraged accounts. And how it works, I put in 100 and something, so it was actually discounted to like a little below 100, but it'll be like 100 and something. And you get an account of $10,000. Now, of course, you still have criteria that if it go below a certain amount, you know, so if you lose a certain amount, you basically lose out. You know, they'll take you out of that leveraged account because they're checking like, okay, you can't manage this, you know. But it's basically like you go into a trading firm. So think on you going Wall Street and you tell them like, boy, look, I could trade now. I know this game, you know, and they're checking like, look, okay, we're going to put you to the test. Let me see what you could do. And then you got to show yourself. And then, yeah, when they reach to a certain level, you got to pay to play. But now, after you don't show yourself, you gain a level of trust already. So now they trust you with a certain amount. But bottom line, after all this talking and giving you, like I say, you could put in 100 and you could get a account of 10,000. And keep in mind, the profits you make is yours. So once you reach the, how to say, the amount that they stipulate, all the profits is split. You check, so you get 80%, 20%, 80%. Yeah. You get 80%. Good. And yeah, they take 20%. And yeah, like I say, you could start with a $10,000 account, and you could go up to a $400,000 account. You know, and hang a lie, you could put like $400 something down, and you could start with $400,000 something account. Check. Just know risk. more money, more problems. But what? You check. Exactly. You see, my boy Prince in the cut. Big up yourself one time, my brother. Glad to see you on the live. I was like, brother, they're self, just know that. Bye-bye. Ray, Willie Bang. See, basically want to make the 10K. Everything after that is yours. Actually, when you make 1K, because it's 10% of the 10. So 10% of whatever you put up, you gotta reach that threshold, and then after that, everything profit, all money in. You check it. So for people who interested in investing, like I say, I recommend starting small. Yes, get yourself acclimated, get yourself accustomed to the vibes. But then when you want to grow, these prop firms, these trading firms, FTMO and them is good ways to get yourself into it, So like I say, all of these websites I share going to be in the YouTube description. So anything you want to go check back out, you could find that in the description on YouTube. But yeah, I went through all these good stuff. I can get to a quick example and then we're gonna shut it down. So like I was talking about the heat map, like I say, generally my common practice nowadays is I get up. If I want to do some trading, I'll put on probably Schwab Network. Usually I'll go to the first. They ain't really saying nothing I really want to hear. I'll maybe go to Yahoo Finance. But yeah, CNBC, like I say, is a good one too, but they actually don't have like a free live coverage on YouTube. You could go on the website and get this stuff, of course. But yeah, like I say, get up, check, see what's going on in the market today, see what these people saying on these newscasts, open up the heat map, see how things looking, because I'm curious. I want to see how the market looking, whether it's bloody or whether she green, like go, And after that, after I get an idea, especially like a situation like this, let me say, like, if I come on and I see like the finance section green, like a lot of these things green, I say, wow, but something going on in the finance sector, man. Go see what's going on there. Or same for retail. Maybe if I see like retail red, I'm checking what something going on with retail, man. Walmart down, Amazon down, everything down, TJ Maxx, Lowe's. You check, cool. After I check out what's going on the heat map, next thing I do, I open up TradingView. So this is what I'm gonna do here for you now. See what really going on. TradingView. Telling you, this here is like every trader's best friend. Straight up. You see, look where it come up on. Goal. What tell her, yo, love that. Love that. You see, they're telling me about, okay, don't miss out on this, don't miss out on that. But guess what? We don't miss out on nothing. What's for me, God, would be for me. Let me navigate back. Technology does do what it wants sometimes. But yeah, though. So this is TradingView. Welcome to TradingView. Yeah. I know it look kind of crazy. I know. But don't worry. I can make it look easier, make it look nicer, and we're going to dive into things. So first thing I'm going to do is close it up a little bit. There. So this to me. Okay, so we on gold. I got a lot going on gold. So let me go to one that I don't have markup and drop and all kind of thing. So let me see. So you could get an idea too of all the things I been looked at too. You know, of course, gold at the top, Bitcoin at the top, and you could see bookmarked. Nvidia bookmarked, Netflix bookmarked. I surprise Hood is not bookmarked. Let me just go ahead and do that. Spotify is actually a good one too. Apple, US 500, which is the S&P 500. Solana, which is a cryptocurrency. US oil, so crude oil, let's be checking that too. They have this company, WTI, that is deal with the crude oil. Micron is a good one too. That was a good one. Like I say, the British pound versus the dollar is something I have traded already. Big up to my boy Rodel for that one, you know. I ain't gonna lie, big up my boy Prince and the what you call that thing there now? That thing that everybody talking about, man. That crypto there, man. I don't remember. But yeah, this is the next one, a next good one too, right? Palantir. Palantir is a good one. Anyways, so I going to look for something that don't have much going on it. So, okay, good. This here is a good example of what we're looking at. This here is Spotify. So let me say, I decide, you know what? I've been hearing a lot about Spotify, or I check some news about Spotify. I say, you know what? Let me go check, see what it really looking like. Now, don't mind these things down here. Matter of fact, I think I should tell you about them and then take them off. So these down here is indicators, not the only ones I have on, but indicators is basically like some added help, you know. So it's like after you gain your strategy, you add a little seasoning on it, you know. So these just help you kind of gauge what coming to, you know. So like how I talk about the patterns, the indicators is also indicate, you know, what could be coming. So let me go up here. Like this. More tree. Yes, good. So we're playing Gene right now, and as you could see, let me take it back a little more, even more. So now we're back to the start. You could see 2019. It's starting from the beginning of time with Spotify. Look, you could see it. It started out here at like one something. She had a little rocky start and she boot up. She push up. You could see this actually looking like a head and shoulders now. If you look at it good, you could see one shoulder, the head in the middle, then another shoulder, and what she do? Come right back down. Head and shoulders is a sign of a reversal. So meaning she was going up, she lose power, and she come back down. Check. Good. I hope everybody with me there. Everybody on the live, if you're with me, send me a comment. Say, yeah, with you. With it. Good. But bottom line, they're showing you how the price move from the start of Spotify, which was back in 2018. Good. Now, The reason why we seen it like this is because I have it at a month time frame. So if you see up here at the top, next to it have spot, and then the plus, it have different times. So it say 1M, 5M, 15M. Then it say D, W, M. Good. That's the time frames. So understanding the time frames is a very, very important aspect of trading. You check? Because now you got to understand what the time frames, the differences is, what it's telling you, and see how they comparing, how they stacking up to each other. You check? So now, basically what it's telling me is right now, I am a 1 month time frame. So you see, you got to highlight an M here up at the top. That means each of these candles, so you see this red one, this green one, all of these candles, each of them is a month long, you know, so the duration it's showing you is a month. So now if I move to now the W, which is 1 week, you could see the shape change, everything change. Let me close it in a little bit. But you could see it's the same thing. You check? You could see we gone back here to 2018 when it start. It look a little different. The shape look a little different. But you could see it's the same movement. Look, the same head and shoulders. Just now we could see that. We could see it a little better now. You check? You could see now this the shoulder. This the head. Then we come over, this the next shoulder, and then bam, she drop on you. You check? So, like I say, anybody, if you understand, if you're with me, just leave a little comment. If you ain't understanding what I'm telling you, comment so I could try to break it down or slow it down or explain it in a different way. Because that's what we hear about. I trying to share the knowledge with you. I trying to help you understand what you see in here. You check? So, yeah, let me know. Let me know if this look like rocket science to you, like this thing rocketing, shooting off. Let me know if it look like rocket science so I could break it down, try to break it down further than that. If not, I continue in. So like I say, when we was on a month time frame, you could see because I close it in, that's why it looks so. I like, you know, minimize it so I could see everything when we was on a 1 week time frame. But yeah, as you could see, this is the 1 month time frame. You could see it look the same as this, right? Right? It look the same. This one just close up, yeah. Thing is, if I open it back now, she going open back up on a week 2. But you could see, like I say, she start here, she hit a little up, then she come down, she like had a flat line, you know, a slow heartbeat, and then she shoot up. She gets some momentum and she shoot up. But then she ain't had enough momentum. She get her head and shoulders here, and then she drop. After that heavy drop, she gained some momentum again for a strong rocket ship up move. You check? Good. Understand, this is a 1 month. You could see the movement. When you come here now, like I say, back on the weekly, is the same movement. It start here, it shoot up a little bit, come back down, kind of flat line. Then she gains some momentum, she shoot up. She ain't had enough, so she come back down. Then she gained some good momentum to just rocket ship up, and now she up high. Check? Good. Good. All of you with me? You're with me? That's 1 month time frame to 1 week time frame. You could see the similarities, but just understand the difference is on this one, each one of these candles is a week. So each of them, it take a week for that to form and then move on to the next one. When that week done, so let me say Monday 9:30, if that's when it done farm, Monday 9:31, the next one start, and then they're running for the whole week. That's on this time frame. Good. So a good example. Let we say this last candle here started Monday. See it there face at the bottom. I know it might be a little, I can't really zoom else. You can't really get to see the screen. But anyways, as you can see, it say it start Monday. See this one say Monday 18th of August 2025. That's the previous one. This last one that just starts in Monday 25th of August. So every week when I hear on live, these candles start fresh. Good. The day now, when you come to the day now, same thing. If I close it up, try close it up so you could see the whole thing, like how we do with the others. You could see the same motion, the same move. You check. It start here, 2018, before 2019. Hit a little up, drop down, flat line, shoot up. Didn't have enough momentum, drop back down, gain some more momentum to just rocket ship. Great. Good. You see it here for yourself again, but now we're on a daily time frame. So each of these candles represent one day. So let me say, like I say, go back to the end here. And this last one would be a day. I can't really think I'll have to zoom in. But anyway, just to get an idea of what you're looking at, why it looks so, but just understand each time frame it's showing you the same thing now, just more microscopic. So think on like you got a microscope and you want to watch something, and you know, like the microscope or even a camera, you want to zoom in, they got 1 time zoom, then 2 times zoom, then 4 times zoom, and 10 times zoom. It's the same thing here. You check? It's like you're seeing the same thing from a macro level, so from far, like they say, helicopter view, and then you could precisely just hone in to one specific point on it. Check? So me, how I does approach this now, like I say, I'll do my research, see what the market's saying, see what I like. But like I say, if I do my research, I listen to the live podcast and the live webcast, and I hear them talking about Spotify. I would come, open up the chart, I would start on the month to see what she doing overall. So I could see she on a up. Maybe she pulled back, but she on a up. Is now to wait and see maybe if the pullback can be so heavy that it can break the trend. So all these is like terminologies you have to understand to get into this. But yeah, bottom line, it's on an uptrend, and what could happen is either it pull back a little bit and keep going up like steps, or maybe the pullback may be so strong that it would just pull it back down so far that it break the whole trend. So then that would mean it ain't going up no more, that it would either be flatline or she means she's going back down straight. Check. So like I say, I would come see the big picture first and then hone in. So let me say if I watching this and I checking like, man, I want to put a trade in this now. I'll be checking, okay, this trend here. Hey, what you doing there, buddy? What you doing there, buddy? Hey, no, undo. I don't want a trend like that. I want see what I'm doing? So for me, I like trend lines and horizontal lines. Some people don't use trend lines, but I ain't gonna lie, for me, I find sometimes when I put my trend lines, it was like fall exactly on it. To say it the simplest way, like let me say like how this is here. I would set up this trend line. Of course, this ain't really how I would set it up. This is just an example. But I would set it up here, and then when it continues, so let me say like a couple of days after I come back and I check it, it literally drop right on the line, you know? Or let me say like maybe if I do it like this. This is a better example. Let me say I do it like this, and I check in by, she look like she gonna pull back, but then if she break this trend line, I mean the trend done. But if she come back here and she just bounce here and continue going up, that means she just hit a pullback and she on it still. You check? So, like I say, is being able to watch these things, analyze, and say, okay, this is what you're doing. This is what I'm gonna do. You know? So, like I say, I might start on a macro level like this on a 1 month. We put some lines for important positions. We say I put one here because that's where like these two candles bottom out. You know, they had some wicks, but that's where they stop. And then put it here because this is like the high. So let me say like this is a range I create for myself. And now as I progress, I can just monitor what she doing around here, what the numbers looking like. So let me say for me, if she, like, let me say straight like this, I would not get into this because this trend done going, you know, so I would maybe either wait for it to break the trend and consolidate, meaning like flat line, and then decide what she want to do, or I would wait for her to pull back to my trend line and then observe her to see if she's going to continue shooting up. And if she does do that, then I would put in a trade. So let me say if she pull back till, let me put another line just for example. Let me say when it come back down, she come back down and she come back till like here. So let me see, I should have a drawing tool, man. Drawing tool. I want to draw. Anyways. So yeah, let me say instead she decides she come back down till here, you know, she break back down like a curve. She hit right here by, let me say this X marks the spot. And then she decided, yeah, she's still in that uptrend. She still got strength. She's going to push it up. I could say, you know what? Okay, I'll put in a trade maybe here. Put my stop loss here. And then put my take profit up here. You know, just for example. Of course, I'm going to get more deeper into the actual values and, you know, really check it, see where she really going to land and so on. But for just a quick example, if I had to trade Spotify, seeing where she is now, I would, like I say, open her up, start from a big picture, 1 month, and then put my lines, see what I want to do, see how she moving, start to move down the time frame. So like I say, go from a month to a week, see how we looking there, then move from a week to a day, see what she doing there. You know, so I could see here, she coming up. She about to make her way back down. I ain't know how far, but I could see this is a sign. You could see these peaks. So technically, if you look at it again, This like another half balance head and shoulders again. Let me just say like that. Check. So she come up, this one shoulder, she come up, she hit the head, and then she come back down. She had the momentum. So she just give another shoulder here. And now she gonna come back down. Check. And that's the thing. These are things you could verify on different time frames. So when you see something and you check a different time frame and you see it again, then that's a confirmation for you. It's like, okay, yeah, man, this looking like it's real. So I wouldn't really call this head and shoulders because of how far this one reached down. This would probably be more like a twin peaks, double peak, double top type vibe, you know. So like she come up here, she hit a top, she pull back, she hit another top, but another top ain't as high. So usually the double tops them to be more closer, but just example. Bottom line, when you read them books too and they tell you about these patterns and what to look for, it doesn't be as perfect as the book or as the image, It does be like maybe lopsided or maybe one side higher than the next side, or maybe it just doesn't be perfect like how you would see it. So don't always say like buy nada in it because they ain't exact, But yeah, like I say, start with a 1 month, move down to the week, then I'll move down to the day, see like, okay, it looking the same, it looking like what he's saying going to happen, go down 4 hour. So for me, 4 hour and 1 minute, once I got trade in, is places I does like can be a lot. Let me say 4 hour, 15 minutes, and 1 minute. So generally what you'll do, you'll go in, like I say, start big picture, and then just precisely hone in, like slowly just get closer and closer until you reach to that precise point. Whereas the 1 minute is like, yeah, that precise point. So like I say, we on 4 hour now. Now we gone to 1 hour. So now it can start to look different because now you're down to like the end of it alone. In a whole thing like what we look at with the, with a rocket ship. But yeah, as you continue going down, this is for like more precise entries, So let me say you check in like, or if you're a day trader, you generally be staying in these areas. So check. But yeah, 1 minute is like, yeah, each of these candles is 1 minute in time, So imagine going from each candle is 1 month to each candle is 1 minute. So bottom line for the 1 month candle, that'll be 31 day candles. 31. I don't know how they do the maths, but like I say, now I could see exactly where it is. I could get an idea of where she stand right now. So I could see, let me say, if I wanted to get into this trade, if I wanted to get into it now, I would go down to the 1 minute and then put my trade in on the 1 minute. Check, but bottom line, the idea is when you change time frames, because you like change the position, it does like change the view when you switch time frames. Anyways, like I say, I check in, what? I believe this chart is going to come down to this first lowest yellow line, and then they're going to bounce on it and bounce up. It's not going to break the trend. So I decide, what? I want to get in at around 6:33. or 6:30 around there. Or you know what? I say, okay, it's at 6:81. I could take that right there. Then I'll go down to the lower time frames to get a precise point, and then put in my trade. Check. So generally, what I'll do my analysis on my laptop, because I could navigate and move on it well, and then I'll pull out my phone, and I see market, but usually I'll go on MT5, and then let me say, okay, I hear on MT5, good, and I'll go to the chart, because I don't put my trading. MT5 is not connected to my TradingView, so that's why I just go to another platform. But there are brokers that can connect to TradingView that you wouldn't have to go to another platform to put in your trades. But just leaving how I do it. So like we say, right now I got Bitcoin open. I check in like, wow, okay, Bitcoin is at 109 right now. I know she gonna go back up to 120 for sure. I willing to put my money in. Yeah, my Bitcoin. Yeah, you can see my Bitcoin chart well highlighted. I'm telling you, all kind of thing on my Bitcoin chart. I tell you that Bitcoin is my baby. See all these lines, all these old trend lines. So you can see I had Bitcoin is a good example of like how I does trade, because now, as you could see, I have a main trend line. So that's like the overall trend. Then, as you could see, I got these like boxes. So I have those as like supply and demand, which rightfully this one's supposed to be red, because I just do it like the lower ones is red, because then it's like red light stop, green light go. And yeah, so I got a lot of different things on this Bitcoin. Rightfully I should clean up, but yeah, you could see I got a bunch of boxes and a bunch of trend lines, and yeah, trend lines is the diagonal ones, and then I got horizontal, I got vertical. So you can see all here is like, these is trades I was looking at or jumping. All here you could see, and just know you got small ones in between. So let me see if I go down forward. Let me see forward. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so this is a good example. Good. So you see around, what is the July, end of July, I was checking Bitcoin, checking she got an uptrend there. Really, she was like consolidating because she had done crossover. So you see that's when she had hit she all-time high 120 something. That's the first time she had hit it after the tariff. So I was watching her, checking, okay, she hit her all-time high, okay, she had come back down, she had break it. So I checking, okay, now I could see what she going to do. She going to get back. I mean, she going to climb back up, because she had stopped there. She had to G out. And then I was checking, okay, she had some signs that she was moving up again. So I was absorbing up for a trade there. Good. Move back. This was one of the big ones. I had missed this one, but I was so vexed I had missed this one. But them times too is when I was transitioning from like day trading to swing trading, because if shoot, if I had the knowledge already, I would already know how to see the overall trend. So the bigger trend here, which is from here by this green box down here up to this upper green box at the top. And I could have catch this whole play. But them times I was looking at these small moves in between and things. So like I say, I at the time was more day trading, and I shifted my focus and shifted my strategy from these small plays to looking at these big moves, which is like a week. So let me say she start here Wednesday the 9th of April, and she reach here 23rd of May. So she take a month. Check. But even if I had get in here and let me say the week after, so what will be 8th, week after will be 15th. Yep. You check. Look, I'll be up. So you'll get in here on the 8th, down here at the bottom. And then on the 15th, you'll be up here. You check. So you'll get in at 74 or so, 74, 7 something, 74,000 and change. And let me say running it at a week, so like a swing trader mentality. You know, you could leave it run still, because you watch it, checking man, she looked like she could do something still. But if you checking no, I don't trust it, she flatlining right now, she consolidating, let me get out, you would have gotten out when it gone up by 11,000 at like 85,000 and change. You check. So just to understand the movements, you know, but yeah, just so you could see how how serious I've been about this thing with all these trend lines. I ain't gonna lie, one of my brethren, if you see this, you say, bye, where you on by? Take them off, take all them old trend lines off. But yeah, look how much trend lines I got here. But no lie, all of this made me feel positive and made me feel confident that I understanding what's going on, because when I put in trend lines like this and I check in like, okay, yeah, that trend break right there, and she do exactly just that. Because you could see I put this trend line when she was coming down, when she was maybe like around here is when I make it, because I would have watch it and I say, okay, she start here, and I would make a touch here, and then, you know, come down here, and I say, okay, she break that for sure. So then that's why I put this next one going up. And look, just as I anticipated, is what she did. The trend was broken, the downtrend was broken, and she hit a uptrend, which was really a short bull rally to then bring another downtrend. But then all of that, like I say, I see the end of it, because it's like an exhaustion. You could see, whereas, okay, this downtrend break, she start and she uptrend, which it was, you know, kind of slow. She wasn't so strong. So meaning it wasn't straight up, like, let me see like how this one coming straight down. And let me see like how this one going straight up. This one was like more sideways. So it was going up, but it was slow, you know? And you could see she hit a first run, a first step, then let me say like that. And she hit another step, which this one was more like a kind of flat line. And then she hit like an exhaustive move, like she just like a last hurrah, like she can push it up. And then she lose energy, and then the sellers then checking, yeah, okay, good, my turn. Down for the count. You check. So I ain't gonna lie, like I say, over time, observing the movements, again, understanding of how it moves, and I had reached to a point that I check in like, okay, I understand this now, because if this doing like this, like how I say going to do, that mean like you grasp it, Oliver. You check? And then now it's just honing the skill, and just like after you got a nice blade, you gotta polish it, or after you gain some good insight, you gotta just build on it. Like I say, when you got a foundation, now it's just grow. You gotta build your house. I build my house. I know what's going on. So now it's just to observe, see what's for me. Like I say, like a surfer waiting for his wave. And I just watch the market now. I checking like, okay, yeah, man, look at that. Like, okay, let me go back to the front. Let me go back to the present time. We say like I checking like, okay, she hit one something here, then she went up. She hit. It was 111 there just now. Then she went up. She hit all the way up to like 122. Good. Then she dropped back down, went back up, hit another higher high, 123 and change. Good. So then she dropped back down. Understandably so. After you hit a big hoorah, you get tired and you gotta take a break, you gotta take a breath. So, the other man gonna step in. It's like a battle between red and green, so it's like, think on like a boxing match. Maybe Prince can understand, and maybe that's why he appreciate this so much, because you ever see like the old boxing game with like the blue and the green man? It's like you gotta try see who gonna win. It's a wrestling match, and these men just wrestling and fighting to win the battle. And sometimes they get tired, and they just hold on to each other, and that's when they flatline. When maybe it in a range, maybe it might go up a little bit, because sometimes they just be hugging each other, but they still trying a little jab on the side, like, but yeah, right. I'm tired, but hold on, But then a time might come where, he sent a good couple of jabs and he knock you down, and you're down for the count, and then it's like, okay, now it's return, we in control. But yeah, it's a battle. So like I say, me now watching this, like I see Alia, she hit this line at like 111, and then she went up. That's when she hit she all-time high. And of course, understandably so, she hit her all-time high. She went pull back. But now she flatline in here, because after she come back down, she flatline. This is her like threshold. This is like the floor. This is her foundation. And she checking, she can't pass the foundation, then she going down in the ground. Now, so she gonna stay by she foundation, and what? She gonna move up. So for me, a man like me, knowing my love for Bitcoin, I would put a trade in maybe even right now where she at. Checking like, okay, I believe she going back up to hit she all-time high, maybe pass it again. So I would be willing to put a take profit at a little before it maybe. You check? And then I'll put a stop loss. I'll go back, check back in the time and see was a reasonable stop loss, but somewhere below where it is now. But it's about averages too, like ratios, because when they talk about 2-to-1 and 3-to-1 and 4-to-1 gain, what I mean is like you stop loss to you take profit. So it mean like if you risking, let me say I put in a trade here now, I put in $100 and my stop loss is like at 75. Let me just say for easy understanding. But then I put my take profit at, let me say, 200. That's 4-1. Because now, when I lose in 25, I could gain 100. Let me say it like that. Check. Simply put. So, like I said, put in 100, my stop loss is at 75. So, if it go down and hit that, I lose $25. But if it don't hit my stop loss and I am right and it goes up and it hit my take profit, then I would gain $100, which is 4 times what I would have lost. You check? So all of these is just the little intricacies of the market and understanding what's involved when you get involved in these things. But yeah, like I say, man like me, I'll watch that, checking what Bitcoin looking like it right now. I trust in that trade. I trust in my judgment. I trust in my analysis. And I'll pull out my phone, go on MetaTrader 5 and say, okay, I want Bitcoin. I put in a position at 109, 178. And I'll put a stop loss at maybe 108, 800 something. And then my take profit would be, like I say, up to the 124, 124,000, and I leave that right. You check. If it hit my stop loss, c'est la vie. I lose that $25 on to the next one. You check. But like I say, if I am right and it go up and it hit my take profit, money in the bank, straight up. And then now it's just about making your wins outweigh your losses and you're profitable, because it ain't gonna be perfect. Don't think you're gonna always win. Don't think you're gonna always have a right trade. You might be wrong sometimes. Nobody perfect. Even the best traders, the top experts, don't get 100% trades. I'm telling you. You check? And that's why they have that rule of like 2-1, 3-1, 4-1 risk to reward ratio, because you get to beat it in a way of, if I lose once but win once, I already ahead by 3 times. You understand? If I get 4-1 ratio, so if I lose once, okay, I lose 25. So now my 100 gone down to 75. But then if I win the next, now I got 175. So now I up 3/4. You understand? We understand. We with me. Please, if you're with me, let me know. If you want to understand, please leave a comment. Please. I here for you. I here to help you grasp this. You check? That's what we here every Monday for, to share the knowledge. I taking it out of my brain and putting it on this platform for you to pick it up and run with it same ways, So bottom line, that's trading. That's trading. Honestly, how I'll say, you watch this episode, you follow the resources I share with you, within a few weeks, you will be a viable trader. Check. But you gotta be serious. You gotta be serious about everything that you really want. You check. With everything, think on anything that you just do good right now. You check. Anything you just do good right now. Whether you're a bartender, you just make drinks, whether you're a bar up, whether you're wherever to be, whatever you just do good. Yeah. Think back. And when you started doing that, how you used to be. You check? Think back. And when you just learn about that, how new it was to you. But now, where you is now. You check? Like I say in my motivational message today, Rome was not built in a day. And I know for a fact, certain of these things I talk about, some people might watch it and say, what, I went over my head. Self. Check. Boy, at the end of the day, with repetition, you don't get it. You understand it. Like they just say, practice makes perfect. You know, the more you practice, like I use the analogy about the guitar, the more you practice, once you put in that time, you're going to be an expert eventually. Once you stay consistent and stay steadfast at it, So, yeah, I know a lot of information shared today, a lot. I show a lot of websites, a lot of pages, a lot of YouTube channels, different things. Let me not say a lot. It might sound, you know, that might sound bad. It might sound like something that would, make people stray away. But anyways, good stuff always, like I always say, I just try my best to come with good content every week. And for sure, every week, every Monday, you could come on All Over It podcast. You're going to get something good. Every week, I have something good for you. I hope this week was well received. I hope it was good for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the information and the content. And I hope that it is useful for you, and I hope that you do something with it. Yeah, because like I say, how I see it, financial market, trading, it's like printing money. It's like having your own money printer. Whatever you want to do, you could say, okay, yeah, I know how I could get the money. Depending on what level you're at, it depends on how fast it can come. But like I said earlier, once you understand how to operate the machine and understand the rules of operating the machine, it's just like a money printer, a money printing machine. Check. So that being said, that's all I gotta say on stocks for today. Check. I thank you for joining me for this journey today, specifically I'm talking about. Yes, thank you for joining me on this All Over It podcast journey in general. But for sure, thank you for joining me today as we dived deeper into trading, because I want you to master the market. Check. So that's why today was stocks and trading explained. I gave you from start to finish, basically, the process I went through. I gave you basically. Check. So I really highly believe you could do something with that. I really highly believe you could watch this episode. If none of my others, you could watch this episode, check the resources, and you're going to see betterment in your financial future. Let me just say like that. But you got to put in the work. You got to build the foundation. You got to build the structure. Rome was not built in a day, brick by brick. So day by day, as you put in the time, whether it's going and listening to the Schwab live on YouTube, whether it's going reading the book, whether it's watching the video series, whether it's just going on Yahoo and just going through the website, checking the articles, seeing what they're talking about. Just getting yourself more aware, more familiar with these terms and these different things they're talking about. Trust me, they're gonna come when you get that epiphany, when you be checking like, wow, I understand. I'm telling you, I remember the first time I really like read them candlestick Bible and abreast myself with like the patterns and thing. And then when I went on the TradingView the first time and I really checking like, yo, but look the head and shoulders there, but look the double bottom, look the, oh, you know, this thing been right in my face all the time. I just ain't been knowing why I've been watching. You check. So yeah, it's just about getting yourself aware of your surroundings. It's like getting through in the middle of the jungle. You gotta first understand where you is. Get your bearings. Figure out your plan and your strategy of getting out of that jungle. And then start chopping. Yeah, because what? You gotta make that move. You got to make that move. Nobody can do it for you now. So even after I sit down here and I talk all of this, yeah, you could be interested, but until you pick up your phone, pick up your laptop, pick up whatever it be, it's just information. It's just knowledge. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Check. You gotta pick up your device. Say, I going to learn this. I going to do this. This is going to be how I going to escape the rat race. Find my financial freedom. Check. And yeah, with that being said, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. And I love how, real talk, love alone. Bottom of my heart, love alone. Real talk. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. We're growing. I always tell it to you. As a plant man, as a farmer, agriculturalist. You check. Agricultural scientist. Yeah. Yeah, that's me. So I can always tell you about things growing, including and especially myself. Check. But yeah, we're growing. This podcast growing, the channel growing. Like I said, I thank my new subscribers. Anybody who ain't subscribed yet, subscribe. If you like the content, if you like the things that I be talking, share it with somebody who you know need to hear this. Telling you. Like it, comment if you got something to say. I want to hear it. I waiting to hear your comment in the chat. You check. I big up my boys them in the chat for sure because that's love. But I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you think about this. What you feel about investing. You like it? You don't like it? You get into it when you was like years ago and you get scammed. I know a lot of people, especially older generation, that was a situation. Maybe I should make an episode about that specifically, scams. Anyways, yeah, I know even down to my father. Look, after last week episode, me and my father talk a good while. And he check in which he tell me enough times, he had opportunity to get into the market to invest. People come tell him, yeah, they could get him stocks and shares and things, but especially back in them time, most people just scam you. They come tell you, yeah, come invest with me, and then you don't see them again. You check. So it's unfortunate that a lot of people went through situations like that. Trust me, I get scammed already too. Different ways, not like that, but We all been there. Trust. Leave it or not. I don't care. Trust no. Trust. Been there. All of us went through things trying to escape this financial rat race that we in, this hand to mouth, this paycheck to paycheck type of lifestyle, you know. All of us try all kind of things, trying to escape and elevate ourselves. You check? But what? One thing I can say is back then, ain't had the access like it got now. You know, and I ain't gonna lie, yeah, it got scams out there still, but it's a lot harder to get scammed. You know, and especially like I always say, once you do your due diligence, once you do your homework, me, I am man, I always researching anything I want to get into. I'm making sure I know what I'm getting into now. Everything good, not just finances. You check it. Yeah, so just know what you're getting into with everything. Know where you're putting your money with everything. Sure. But yeah, this is a way. Trust and believe. But yeah, thank you. Like I say, another installment of the financial literacy series. Next week we got another one. Leave it as a surprise again. Actually, I think I'll talk about gold next week. I'm playing in a little bit today, so maybe I should. But I also have an interview lining up with somebody to talk about life insurance. So that is gonna be a good one too. You know, but we actually coming down to the end of the financial literacy series. We went through majority of the topics we covered in the beginning in the overview episode. You know, so I'll tell you, if you're really interested in investing, you really want to take some time out, go back, listen to from the financial literacy explained episode, get a nice overview, and then you could come straight on the line. And then you could decide for you what you want to put your money in. Check, trust me, a lot of good options. I can't just come up here and say, yeah, put your money there. I can never do that. I ain't no financial advisor. But also, I would never tell you that because I can't tell you what to do with your things. I could just give you advice. But I ain't no advisor. Anyways, you don't know, love alone. Like I say, we elevating. More interviews coming soon. Like I say, if you know anybody with any local brands that you want me rock on this podcast, shout out. You don't know, let me know. Send me a message. You don't know. Are you big up on yourself? One time, two time. Check. Appreciate you as always. We got another one in the books. All over it. Episode 18. Mastering the market. Stocks and trading explained. Y'all have a blessed night onwards. Have a blessed week onwards. Catch me here again next week for another episode where we uncovering it all. All. Total. You don't know. Blessed.